Marhaba, I'm belly dancer Jensuya. This is Bob, and we are going to teach you an 8-beat combination of belly dance moves called slide and shimmy. First, we'll show you the combination at full speed. Then together, you and I will break it down, learning both the technique and the timing of each of the moves in the combination. And finally, we will practice it together with Mr. Bob playing the doumbek. Yalla habibi, let's get started. Our combination called slide and shimmy is a collection of belly dance moves that we fuse together to form one dance phrase that we can then drop into the music. Let's learn the combination. Stand up and face me as if you're looking in the mirror and mirror what I do as we go through it. So we start out in basic belly dance posture with our feet a few inches apart, our knees bent, hips tucked forward, chest lifted. Kind of a rigorous posture, but here I am back at the beginning. I will do this so that you can see what's going on with my knees as we learn. So we're starting in this basic posture, and what was the first thing I did? Yeah, it was some kind of sway thing. So this is what we call a hip slide, and what I'm doing is basically just pushing my hips directly sideways. That wasn't the only thing going on, right? With that hip slide, I was also embellishing that motion, which is particularly great when you're beginning and you don't necessarily have a lot of range of motion in here. So with my hands, I started out with them. I'm lifted in the chest, my arms here kind of framing my hips, and notice how my hands are kind of flexed. What I'm going to do here is as my hip slides, I'm going to pull that same side, the direction I'm going in, pull that hand out a little more, leading with the wrist. But I'm going to take it a little further. So it kind of looks like I'm pulling my hip with a string, but also it's leading the viewer's eye further out. So it gives the illusion that you're really pushing your hip out a lot further than you actually are. The other wrist, the other wrist follows it, but it does the opposite turn with the wrist, and it kind of pushes. So it's pushing this way. Look at my hands. Mirror that with your hands. Now we're going to go that way. So we're going to flip the wrist and push it out that way. So we're going to slide with hands, slide with hands. Boom, 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 boom. So the first move in our combination is a hip slide with our hands following. Boom, boom, keeping the knees bent, chest lifted. So far, so good, right? Looks really easy, actually pretty doggone rigorous. So, what's the next move in our combination? What did I do? Yeah, with some shimmying thing, right? There's lots of different types of shimmies in belly dance. This one is one that I call the vertical hip shimmy because it's going up and down vertical and it's in the hips. What we're doing there is, again, feet are just staying in the same spot. You can practice this in a tiny little space. And keeping both knees bent, I'm going to raise and lower my hips. So with this hip, I'm going to pull it up as if it's going to touch my rib cage. The other one's going to go down because they're connected. Then that one's going to pull up and the other one's going down. So you can think of you're pulling this hip up, pulling this hip up. Ribs stay where they are. So it's like you're trying to touch your rib cage with your hip bones. Up, 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 up. Might be easier to think of your knees. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see here. So when I'm doing that, when I'm pulling this knee up, when I'm pulling this hip up, this knee straightens a little bit, but never totally straight. We don't do this because this causes us to bounce. It's a different look. It's not a belly dance look. So belly dance look is isolated. So keeping both knees bent, pulling up, up, up. Look how the knees are going in and out like that. So the second move is the vertical hip shimmy. And as you're starting out, if it's a little tricky, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, just kind of up and down like this. What makes it a shimmy is doing the same move very fast. Boom, 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 boom. But as you know, that's not all we were doing. What we're going to do is layer on, this is a classic belly dance thing, is to layer on another move. With our arms, they were like this from our slide, right? We're going to take them and cross them in front. Notice how I'm keeping my hand flexed. Crossed in front, bring over, and then open them up as if you're bringing the energy down from the heavens, and then back here to where they started with the hip slide. So let's try the arms again together, going slowly from a flexed position, leading with the inside of the wrist, crossing, bringing up, staying nice and lifted in the chest as I go, bringing up, opening up, bringing the energy down from the heavens and back down to right here, these low arms. Let's do it again. Crossing up, bringing it down. Crossing up, bringing the energy down. Let's try it fast. If you can't do it fast, that's okay. Either just practice the shimmy or just the hand or try it all together. It takes a lot of practice. You practice one move, you practice the other move, you put them together. Some days will be easy, some days will be more challenging. So at a fast shimmy, up and down, knees bent, chest lifted, hands coming, crossing the wrists, coming up, opening up, coming down. Crossing the wrists, coming up, opening up, coming down. Crossing the wrists, coming up and down. Vertical hip shimmy with arms opening up on top of it. So those are the moves of our combination. Let's look at the timing. In the beginning, I said, how many beats in this combination? That's right, 8. So we're going to start out with our slide. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. How many beats per hip? That's right, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, they're both involved, both hips, but you think of 2 beats with this hip, 2 beats with that hip, leading. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're halfway through our combination, which leaves how many beats for our vertical hip shimmies with our arms layered? That's right, 4. So it's pretty basic, just 4 and 4. However, we're layering moves, so it's a little tricky. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and my hands are obviously asymmetrical, so I'm going to bring them together. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's do it a few more times together. It's called looping it. We'll do it slowly, and then we'll get Bob. Okay, knees bent, hips tucked forward, chest lifted. Here we go, starting this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready for the drum? Let's do it. Bob's going to play the rhythm melody on the drum. He'll start with 2 taks, which is tekkain in Arabic, which lets us know the tempo, how fast he's going to go. Plus, on the 3rd sound of the drum is when we start our first hip slide. Let's start that direction. We'll go back and forth like we did in the practice from this side to this side, this side, this side. I think we should start slowly, Bob. But he's going to want to speed it up, so we'll start slowly and then probably ramp it up, right? If you go crazy, just have fun with it and then play this a lot in the next several days, whatever, weeks, months. Took me a long time to learn. So here we are in basic posture, knees, feet, knees, hips, chest, hands here, ready to go in our first slide. Yalla habibi when you're ready. Speeding it up. Faster. When you're ready for a full course on learning how to belly dance, head over to our online school, school.jensuya.com, and enroll in Introduction to Belly Dance, where we teach you the rhythm, the technique, and the choreography in step-by-step lessons, practice sessions, and plans so that you can progress at exactly the right pace for you in the comfort of your own home. Ma salama, we will see you on the dance floor.